Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are doing good. You are almost at the end of the week. Not saying things are getting better, but you are almost at the end of the week. Before we get into anything, I want you to make certain that if you are the person that is looking to move abroad, stay right here. If you are not the person that is looking to move abroad, but you actually do know somebody that is, please make certain that you share this live with them. It is some important things we are going to cover, especially because a lot more people are starting to get the itch. You guys are starting to get the urge, and that urge is leading you guys outside of the United States. And we need to start being able to frame relocation in a way where you can actually utilize it. And by utilizing it, I mean not only what happens in the process going through, but what you guys can do from starting right now, where you are today. You are probably in the United States, Googling how do I leave? Where's the best places to go? What's everybody doing over there? All of these things are probably running through your head. And tonight and the nights after that will be dedicated to relocation talk that most people won't have with you. Now, you've seen a lot of people jump into relocation and being able to help, and I'm really excited about that because more people need guidance. But the fundamental things really don't change. You know, an immigration lawyer, help with the visa, where do I live? Those things are really fundamental. But tonight and these other nights that we've been going on are 12 days of relocation, which is what you where you are to right now. These are designed to ask you, the person that is actually looking to move abroad, that those questions that a lot of people aren't covering. A lot of people aren't covering the nuances of actually what to do. One of the greatest things is always go do your research. And you don't really know where to start with what research when you talk about doing the research, putting into the Google search specific information, nuanced information that will actually give you results or at least lead you somewhere where you can start putting the pieces together. So, this 12 Days of Relocation series is 100% designed to put those pieces together for you, start connecting the dots, leading you up into our end of early bird tickets as well as our virtual relocation conference. If you guys are new here, my name is RJ. I am originally from Philadelphia. I have lived abroad for going on 3 years. However, been traveling specifically to Colombia since 2017 and have been bringing people since back then. And the reason that is important to you is because Colombia is the place that has definitely won my heart and may be on your radar. But many of the other destinations, Mexico, Panama, South Africa, what we've done is create a platform, which you are on right now, that gives you the ability to connect to these destinations and once again take a lot of that legwork out that you have to do. Who do I find in these multiple destinations that I'm interested in looking for? What information and how do I go about sifting through it that I need to go and put together in my relocation toolkit? So these things are all brought to you in a way where you could actually start taking notes. You guys can go to the website, which is moodtravelabroad.com, get the free resources that are there, see the offers that are there. Also, we have the virtual relocation conference, there's relocation consultations, we even have a relocation in a box that is designed to take the process of the relocation and put it all into one box and say, here we can actually give you guys a little bit of ease when looking to move abroad. Now, this conversation tonight is designed to kind of get into some specific things, which each topic of the 12 days of relocation does. But each time we come together, I want you guys to make certain that you are at least one, having your pen ready, or two, going to YouTube at Black Expat Life Abroad. There you can watch the conversation in full, the full replay. There you can take your notes if you're not able to take notes now. But I need you guys to start looking at this as a blank journal and how do I go about filling in the resources that I need. And I do not mean a digital or virtual journal. I mean a physical journal. I want you to buy an empty book. And this is a part of what we're going to talk about tonight. I want you to buy an empty book. paperback, whatever the case is, but it needs to be empty because you're going to put some things in there. And over the next couple of days, you're going to realize these things that I'm telling you to write down, these things that I'm telling you to visualize, these things that I'm telling you to be intentful about. These are going to be things that not only you can reference and go back to as you are continuously going on your relocation journey, but also put in a scenario as you, one, hopefully make it on the other side of the TSA, will be able to reference and see how far you come and exactly what it is that you did in order to go find what it is you may consider your forever home or your next home out of the United States. So definitely make certain that you are taking the notes, getting into as far as what you need to put into your relocation toolkit. One of the reasons we did this is because I'm seeing so many horror stories. Some people say it's not really horror. I'm like, well, for me, considering that no, it's not me, but so many people are moving abroad, and already there are starting to become stories that are coming out where people are having to move back to the United States, where things aren't working out the way that they intended them to when they actually left. Well, how do you navigate that? How do you navigate not being the next person on the Summer Jam screen in regards to what happened abroad? And that's why you guys shouldn't go. So you guys have to understand that this conversation, everything is going to come down to some basic things. And the number one thing I would say is intent. Your move abroad is not you packing a bag, picking a location, picking a place to live, and then that's it. There are so many other things and nuances that you need to understand. There is a process that you can follow rules and guidelines and step by steps, but there's things that you are going to be charged with, at least on this platform, that you have to do that no one else can do. And each individual that does this correctly and does this the right way is increase their probability of success and living the lives that you're seeing, the things that are going viral. And you're saying, I want to do that. I want to live like that. You don't know what it has taken to be able to create the video that you fawn over and want to be a part of, seeing the communities and you seeing them thriving. But are you ready to be a part of that community? Do you have a roadmap on understanding not only who you need to be, but what you need to do? So many people are typing on, what jobs can I get abroad? If you are an American, we're going to talk about that. If you happen to not be an American, you may want to look into that. But we're talking specifically to Americans because Americans don't understand their weapons. And we'll talk about what your weapons are. These weapons are things that you need to utilize because you really don't ever get a good chance at using them into your favor. Now, some things are out of your hands, but this is talking about what you can do to drive your success in moving abroad. It is important to know these things. It is not just putting your stuff in the bag. So I know a lot of people are looking at moving abroad and seeing people more on the TikTok, YouTube, whatever the case is, however you consume your media, Facebook, and are like, well, why is everybody leaving? Now, some people know exactly why everybody's leaving. Some. Now, other people are like, well, let me tune in. Let me see what it is that people are discussing on these platforms where people are saying, hey, you can move abroad. Well, a lot of people are moving abroad or looking to because they are starting to wake up. So anywhere you go, no matter what demographic, you're growing up in the United States, you're familiar with the American dream. The American dream is something that is very colloquialized in American society. Everybody is familiar with it. People from out of the United States hear about the American dream, but a lot of Americans are starting to wake up and realize the American dream may be one, unobtainable. Two, it may be something that they're no longer even desiring. Do I want the American dream? What if my American dream is to leave and live somewhere else with my understanding of what America had for me? So many people are starting to look at it from there, never mind the constraints that are coming on. There's so many financial constraints that are coming on. When you talk about even health, and just never mind if you have something wrong with you, but could the food cause something wrong with you by continuously eating the processed foods, the breads, the things that you can't really escape in the United States? These things are starting to feel like closed in walls or closing in walls for many people. And many people are saying, okay, well, I can just go pick my location. I've got my stuff. I'll just put it in a bag and then, I'll be good. So Let's show you that's not the truth. And so many people are really finding that out. And I don't want you to be a part of the people that are not having a good time, that are not doing the right things. I just saw a video before I got on, and this guy was talking about dating in Colombia. And I thought that was so funny, the video that he had, because he was just like, well, everybody, is just want you for your money, or is a certain kind of person, or and I'm like sitting here thinking, I'm like, well, where's he meeting people, And he was talking about, yeah, you swipe through 125 people, maybe you find two people that are okay, and I was like, okay, I know what this is. Never mind the passport bros. This is a situation, which is male or female, that you don't know where you're going. You took America intent and thought process with you and said, well, this works in America. I'm just going to take it over here. Even, they have it. So clearly everybody uses it. It's the way to, meet people. I would caution people meeting even people online dating in the United States. What that looks like, never mind going into an online dating arena and assuming it's running the exact same way that people are actively looking for love on online dating platforms, and never minding any societal factors. That's just your thought. And I realized coming into this conversation tonight that so many people are looking and nervous about moving abroad and being alone. They're looking to move abroad to find the love of their life. They're looking to move abroad to get rid of everything and everyone that they don't want to deal with, or all the stuff in America that they don't want to deal with. But they're like, I'm by myself and I don't know if I'm going to fit in, or I don't even know how to speak the language, or I don't even know what the culture is like. And what I find out is a lot of people, when it comes to doing their research, they may look but not realize that doing the research and reading, comprehending what they're doing also means that you need to go through a process of allowing that to be your norm. So that gentleman that was talking about how difficult it was dating and why he would never come back to Colombia, I was like, nobody cares if you're not coming back to Colombia, sir. But more intently, you came to a place where the people that are utilizing the dating apps are certain kinds of people. Now, if you are that kind of person, then you can definitely find exactly what you're looking for. But if you are a person looking for a relationship, looking for love, Colombia is not a place, and many other places are not the place where Tinder, Bumble, whatever else he said, are the places. And I realized that you guys in America don't even know about how to find community when looking abroad. So that is where we're going to start tonight, because when people are looking to move abroad, even if you're not by yourself, let's say you're moving with your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, whatever the case is, even your children. Yes, you can move with your children. They're going to keep you company, but do they have any friends? Do you have any friends that are parents or just normal friends? These things are important, but you really don't know. And a lot of you don't even know how to figure it out. And what I try to do here is give you what you can do there. Because the other stuff is, a lot of that stuff is easy. A lot of that stuff, you get it done, you take care of it. Got the conference, you come on a relocation tour. Those things, it's very processed. But there's a lot of things that are on your end of the screen that I can't influence, because if you don't do it or you don't follow the process on your end, even with all the tools, it won't work. So when we talk about looking at community and how do I get involved with community? Well, if you are watching this, good for you, because you are doing something that can get you involved with community. I live abroad and am involved with community in different communities that are around the world. So this impacts you because, I get people in my inbox. Oh, do you have anybody in Panama? Or, oh, do you have anybody in Playa del Carmen? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me put you in contact with my other people I work with in the community, because we want to make this as easy as possible so that you guys can come meet us and have a good time with us. It's not something that we're like, oh, because your monetization. I want you guys to leave America if it's on your heart and see what it is. You might not even come to know where I am, but the people that are hearing this and the people that are understanding the message are realizing that I'm passionate about just you having the opportunity to see what your life could be like, no matter where it is you go, and not doing it the wrong way where you run into, I got scammed out of my money or something bad happened to me. I don't want that, and I don't even know you. I just want you not to have those things, considering I know what you are in right now. You're in a position to give up everything you know because it feels like it's not what you want anymore, but you are in a position to say, well, how do I know what it is that I want? Let's talk about this intent, man, because is going to be the key for so many of these conversations. So, when looking for a community and how to get ready and started with this move abroad process before you leave, some of you guys are anti social media, anti internet. If you're watching this, you have to be on somebody's internet platform right now. But one thing I will tell you is there are a couple of things from people don't realize that when it comes to living abroad that you're going to have to get in if you really want to do this for real. Now, you can do it your way and you can do it the way I've seen so many thousands of people. All demographics do it. So people don't understand that Facebook might have been something that you got back in the day when you had to have a .edu. It might be something that you might have never signed up for, or maybe you had one and you're not really that active, or you think it's for old people, or whatever the case is, or maybe you are an old person and you just use it to like watch videos. Fine, that was then. But after this conversation, you're going to understand exactly what I mean when I say you guys may need to get back on Facebook. They do not pay me for telling you this. I am just telling you where the information is. When it comes to doing the research, this is a part of doing the research. So when we talk about doing the research, go on to Facebook and you go in that search bar. And it depends on what demographic you are, but I usually talk to my folks. If you are looking for Black expats in, just type it in, Black expats in, and where you're looking for. Now, you might type in Black expats in Colombia, you might type in Black expats in Medellin, you might type Black expats in Mexico, you might type in Black expats, wherever it is that you have in your destination, and see what groups come up and join them. Request to join them. I would say have a profile picture of yourself just in general because it makes you feel like a human and not a bot. That way you seem like a real person because you're going to get into these groups. And when you get into these groups, I don't want you to do anything besides just look. That's it. Just want you to look. What are people talking about? Are people talking about events? Are people asking questions that are valuable to you? Um, what is going on without you being there? This is intent. This costs you $0. $0. $0. So you go in there and you just sit there and fly on the wall. And then if you have a question after you see how the cadence of it works, and don't just join one, join multiple of them. That way you can get a real good understanding of all the places that you want. You might have 30, you might have 5 different places and 5 different groups for that place. So you like 25 groups, but you're doing intentful research. You're going to understand that that right there is so invaluable to you because not saying that you're not going to have to sift through anything, but you can get a post. You can get a post on one information. How is information spread? Depending on where you go, not every community is the same. Not everybody is in a position to want to help you. Not everybody is discussing the resources, the services that are local. These trials with this stuff going here. So, some aren't doing that. A lot are. But these conversations aren't happening in the Google searches. They're happening on Facebook and in Facebook groups. Because that's just step one. Facebook groups will give you an understanding and the posts on the ground. But then what happens in the Facebook groups, people will start saying, hey, here's a WhatsApp, not even a WhatsApp, here's a Google spreadsheet with all of the vetted local services here, free. Just hear it. Because a lot of people are like, y'all keep asking the same questions. And I keep tired of answering them, or people are tired of answering them. So here you have it, and we're going to pin it, and here it is. So now imagine you jumped into a group where they put a whole list of vetted services there, from dentists to barbers. You weren't going to get that from the Google search. You were going to get that from OpenAI, right? Claude was going to hook you up. No, it doesn't work like that. So you guys have to understand, like, you might want to do it your way, which is the way that you have not even done before, or you can do it the way that I have done, and so many of us already have. And I said the W word because a lot of Americans, depending if you are one, a traveler, or two, maybe somebody that has foreign family in foreign countries, you might not really be that familiar with WhatsApp, or you might like download it to be able to arrange your like your ride, from the resort and back, but then you just get rid of it. WhatsApp is the biggest thing outside of the United States. I am on WhatsApp honestly at this point more than I'm on my iMessage, like iPhone, like direct phone, like that. I'm just because everything is in WhatsApp. My life is most of it is out of the United States, and what happens is once you get into the Facebook groups, there you'll be able to find your way into the WhatsApp groups. And WhatsApp groups, those are even harder to find than Facebook groups because they aren't advertised online. You can't really Google a WhatsApp group. Maybe you can Google a Facebook group, but getting into these little WhatsApp groups on what is actually going on, people come into town and are like, I don't know where everybody is and what everybody's doing. I saw that there's the black people here or the so and so's in here, but where are they at? They have a whole WhatsApp group where they're saying, "Hey, we're going here tonight," and they can might not be a post that you see, but 30 people will show up somewhere because they were told about it in this group. But how do you get there? Because AI is not going to give it to you. If you don't know anybody, you're not going to get it. Now, I tell you guys, I don't tell you to walk in paths that I don't walk. I did this, and I'm like I said, intention is something. It's very important. I was in Panama, I was in Belize, and I was in Colombia and Mexico. That was where I was looking. And I got into Columbia group. And as I was a person at the time, I was like, okay, cool. doing my group travel. We already traveled in the world. We're bringing people to Colombia. We're bringing people elsewhere. I might as well go live in Colombia. That would be dope. Let me see what that looks like. So I got into the Facebook group for Colombia, and there was a guy that was in there that also did group travel. And he's like, yeah, I live in Colombia. I live out in Cali. It's dope. You guys got to get out there. You guys have to see. Now, I hadn't been to Cali. I had been to Cartagena. I had been to Medellin. I had been to Barranquilla, but I hadn't been to Cali at the time. And he was like, hey, I'm going to host a group trip to Puerto Rico. We're going to do like the Afro tour out there in Louisa. This be dope. Everybody come out. Now, he wasn't talking to me. He was just advertising. So I reached out to him and said, hey, bro, like, you'll be out there? And he's like, yeah, yeah. Mind you, he doesn't know me from a can of paint. At this time, I had never been to Puerto Rico. This was 3 years ago. Never been to Puerto Rico. I said, let's go. We went, met up with him, uh, ended up talking to him at the event that he had with the Afro Puerto Ricans that were out there. It was like a cultural dance ceremony. It was dope, and it was like right by the ocean. And I was like, listen, I'm moving to Colombia, or at least I'm moving there for 3 months, and I'm interested in how to get to meet new people. He was like, cool, my number, you text me, I'll put you in contact with some people. Now, y'all might get a little hint of who that is, but that's how I know Akeem. And if you guys don't know, we do Roots and Routes podcast, but Akeem and I have been doing Roots and Routes podcast for going on 2 years, and that was about 3 years ago. So these things, when I talk about community and getting in intent and finding it, this is how you do it. Now, you might not have a shared passion with somebody from a group travel perspective or anything else like that, but as far as you might be a mom or a parent or a single female or a single guy or a couple moving, these are shared interests. These are shared things. There are people that have these things going on. Not everyone will be your cup of tea, but to think that you are going to come out of this country, don't know the language, don't know the culture, don't even know the apps to download, the local apps, how the local apps that you may be familiar with work in this country versus what you're used to in your country. How do you navigate that? Damn, I didn't think about the apps. Oh, I know you didn't think about the apps. Never mind getting into the community and how do you become from a fly on the wall to a person that is actively a part of the community. It's so dope to come down and been there for a while and see people that were just traveling and then got to Colombia and was like, man, they people we're really out here and we're really doing it. And 10 months later, like, man, I saw y'all doing this and I moved out here because I knew it was possible. And so many people are having these experiences because they're doing the intentful research. They're going against maybe the grain of what they said in their head of, oh, I'm off of Facebook and I'm off of this. And I'm like, if you are a person that cares about you moving abroad, Facebook is the only way. Unless I give it to you, unless you go on my page and ask me for the Facebook or the Facebook group, or it's not Facebook group, the WhatsApp link, you're not gonna get it. And it's not just me. This is just how WhatsApp works. You just Nobody's gonna say, "Hey, here's a link," and let everybody because you've got spam everywhere. So you've got to realize these things when you're saying, "I don't want to do this," but you're saying, "I also want to do this." You may start needing to do things that you may not want to do, and what also you may not want to do when we're talking about community and depending on what kind of demographic, how do you get involved with the community? You guys have to realize that you remember what community felt like. It might have been a long time since you had to dust your community hands off and be around other people, work with others, commune with others, break bread, don't want anything, just more so positive energy. It might be have been a long time, but on the other side, what you should expect, should each expat community is going to be different. But what you should expect is a welcome mat with opportunities to learn, opportunities to go out with others, commune with others. Somebody in the group chat asked me the other day, well, not asking me, just asking in general, it was like, so what do you guys do? And I was like, well, what do you like to do? And he was like, yeah, no, that's not what I'm asking. I'm like, well, what do you guys do to get together? And I'm like, well, everybody gets together based off of interest, no matter what you do. So there's 500 events that come up just in the city of Medellin, never mind come Wednesday or Thursday, or depending on if it's going on during the week. Somebody's like, hey, there's an event here I'm hosting, come out. This stuff is here in these chats, and if these people aren't there, I hear these stories of people saying, hey, I went to Medellin and I didn't wasn't in the chat or didn't know about the chat, found out about it after I got back, and I was sitting there and I didn't really have a lot of fun. I thought it was a place that everybody was going to have fun, and they end up walking around in Park Yeras the whole time. And it's like there is so much that you guys are missing by not realizing that. Yes, these videos that you see on the internet, they've got views and all of this stuff, but a lot of that is not real life. Our platform is called Black Expat Life Abroad. Like the goal is to have real conversations with the people that are in the United States looking to leave about how do you become the person that is living abroad, but then also continue to show you guys what we're actually doing because that's half the fun. Hopefully, this isn't just a one-way conversation where you never leave where you are. Hopefully, you're on the other side of somebody's TSA and saying, okay, now I saw what he is talking about or see what he is talking about. But a lot of you may not be ready to move. And you say, what are you talking about? I'm ready to move. And ready to move doesn't mean that you've looked at your destination, you packed your bag, and you found your place. This is a process where it's going to start inside. So a lot of people are saying, "Yeah, I'm ready to move," and then I see them. They come into these communities. They come into the chats, and they're the person that they were in America. And you might say, well, what do you mean? Why would I not be the person that I'm in America? And I'm like, because America has made you as an American a particular kind of person that globally isn't usually wide world welcomed. Honestly, even myself. There were so many things that I was doing or my value was there. I was striving to get to this so that I could present or I could have it in a way where America had told me this is not how I need it. Whereas the values and the structure of what you actually need or what you people actually are looking for is completely different in America than it is abroad. So you can't oftentimes be the same person that you were in the United States. So talking about becoming a part of the community. Now, I wouldn't say that I was a person that goes out and tries to meet friends or tries to meet new people. I've never really had that problem with meeting new people or new friends. So even with Akeem, like I'm not shy by any means, but that's not something I normally do. However, moving abroad and leaving America wasn't something I normally did. Like for good, like everything's going to be done in America, like I have no house, no car, like that's pretty serious. So I may need to do some things different than I was willing to do before I left or was in the process or not even thinking about leaving. I got to change. I have to put in, if I say, yeah, I'm a little nervous and randomly talk to a person, but I'm like, we do the same thing and he lives in the country and he's from the States. uh, is that not the best person to talk to figure out if this life is for me? No, I may be the exact kind of person that you are, or you may see somebody on my our platform where you're like, yo, I feel a kindred spirit with them, or I got the exact same story. That's why we here. There's still you more people that are in the communities that are abroad that are look like you or make you remind you of somebody that you know, and you saying, okay, I can go pack all my stuff, but that's just not it. I need to maybe look and do some introspection and see who it is that I am. Where are my values at? Where are my core goals at? Because maybe my goals in the United States are on a bunch of stuff and a bunch of things. And I'm like, yeah, I got you. That's cool. I get it. I was that person. But I'm no longer that person. My values have shifted. Obviously, I'm here in front of you guys. I've been on for multiple days, over 250 hours, plus all of the back end office stuff. I didn't put in the time. This thing is for the community. I realized that, without the weight of America on me, who I could be to myself, who I could be to my family, who I could be to my community, the value that came in that. And a lot of you guys are just minimalizing this move abroad just down to another move. And it's not that. It is so one of the speakers that we have coming on the conference is Dr. Erica Wilkins. I really appreciate her because she understands what so many expats go through. And you guys think that this process is just packing your bags and then everything on the other side is perfectly fine. There's no challenges because once you leave your problems, they're all behind you. And that's just a false way of thinking. You're a grown person. It's time to grow up and look at it and say, okay, how do I navigate challenges that are ultimately going to come up? And what we've done with the conference is put together Dr. Wilkins. She actually provides coaching for people that live abroad. Now, if you take online therapy right now or coaching, if it's covered by doctors or health insurance, it's really difficult to say I'm living abroad because it's not covered over there. And never mind the coverage, how can you talk to somebody about living abroad, navigating homesickness, different language, different culture, and they never left their city ever? That's going to be really difficult for you. You're going to have to cut your senses short, or say, hey, we can only go but so far. And it's only going to be but so far that you can go with that person. So what we had put together was like, how about we have somebody that understands, that is a traveler, has traveled, and honestly understands what people are going through that are in a position to move abroad. See, I tell you about what it is that you need to do before you leave, and then I tell you about what you need to do when you get on the ground. But this process, it never ends. You spent 30 probably plus years in the United States. What do the next 30 years look like? You think in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, you're going to get 30 years of America off of you? You're gonna need a community that understands you, may have gone through the same things. So a lot of you might say, I don't need no community. I'm not getting on the Facebook group. And I'm like, you are going to sink. Not even sink or swim. No, you're going to sink. I see it. Go into the Facebook groups if you are already on there. Go into the travel groups, the move abroad groups. You are seeing these situations come about. People are taking their kids and put them in the hell and high waters. I know you guys are ready to leave, but the unpreparedness in leaving, moving, and thinking that this is the same thing is frightening for me. And I don't have any children. Seriously. And I don't want you to be isolated to, well, I don't have any kids either. It's like you aren't probably going to win the lotto tomorrow. So thinking that you are going to have the next success story with a less than 1% chance of doing something, it's just not okay. I saw a girl the other day in one of the travel groups, and she said, I moved to a country that I didn't know was a Muslim country because it was a beach town. And she was like, everybody, if you just go, I booked a one-way ticket. And I'm like, that is irresponsible on her on two ways. And this isn't actually down to one person, but I see so much of this rhetoric, and I'm like, I don't want you, the person that is watching this. I don't want you to watch that and think that that's going to be me. I should do that. She wasn't in any danger. She wasn't in any duress. She was having a great time. And you're like, well, why are you talking about it? Because it's not safe behavior. Think about this, right? Now she wasn't, luckily was not a person that was going to have immediate friction with this. But she said she moved to a country that she didn't realize was a Muslim country. Well, if you know anything about Muslim countries, you have to carry yourself a certain way. Yelling, screaming, drinking alcohol. These things are all regulated. And if you are moving to a place that you don't know with those things, and that is the kind of person that you are, you may be in for a hard time. So what we want to do is understand that when we talk about getting in these communities, it's about, hey, what is it to do there? What is it to, where do I find a realtor? Where do I find an immigration lawyer? But also, like, how do I carry myself? You want to know who all there, but the people on the other end want to know who just got in the group chat. Coming here asking, saying this, coming here doing reckless behavior. I've seen that recently also, and it's just like we need to start having these conversations before you guys get on the plane. And looking at America today, he said y'all need to sit down a little bit because planes may be canceled for some of them for a little while. And I'm like, maybe everybody need to pause, come out, come to the 12 days of relocation. Here's something you need to hear. We're gonna open the planes. By the time the 12 days of relocation is up, I have everything I need to actually make this move and make this next plane ticket and make it make sense, because the stuff I'm seeing is just like people only hear headlines. Somebody got robbed, somebody got drugged, something happened bad, not what they did before then. Now, sometimes, and obviously, you'd be surprised how little times it's like, yes, there's still victims and people still do bad stuff to people abroad and other places. But many a time when you actually get to the nuts and bolts of it, you're like, so you were doing what? And then you brought. So this could have been avoided a lot, but all you guys end up hearing is this, and it's just like, are you open enough to be told what to do or what not to do? If somebody that you didn't know said, hey, put your phone away because that's not cool. That happens in Colombia all the time. Americans come and they're walking around with their phone or out taking pictures like they're not holding $1,500 in the air, and somebody that they don't know is like, hey, put your phone away. You're like, you don't know me. Excuse me, I was trying to help you. Never mind. But are you ready to be abroad? Are you ready to stop being the American that you are and being the world person that you could be? That's a question for you. That's not for me. I can tell you the resources to get to the people, but you're going to feel real isolated when you move abroad and there's 500 people together having a good time and nobody wants to talk to you because they are in a situation that realistically want to not be around you. There are people in the group chat that people do not want to be around, and everyone across the world, because it's like, why did you come all the way out of the United States to be the same thing you could have been in the United States? They're the people that I'm hoping to reach beforehand, never mind the people that aren't like that, but knowing that there's more resources and information that we need to know. But there are people that are making the move abroad that aren't the people that should be. There's no filter for this. It's like you should have to take a test and move abroad. Like, because like maybe the world, you don't need to be out in the world. Maybe you just need to live in America's bubble, because so many people at this age are rigid. You know how hard it is for me to learn a new language? I know how hard it is to have to go to the bathroom and don't know where it is and can't nobody tell me. I know that's gonna be a lot harder than learning a new language. Well, I don't want to go to school all the time. Nobody told you to go to school. Turn your brain into a sponge. Okay, yes, I need to go and look on my translator. Um, where's the bathroom? Adonde es al baño? Okay, that's I heard myself say it. Okay, now I know what to say when I need to find out where is the bathroom. The next time, should I go to my translator if I don't feel comfortable? Sure. But by the third time, you should know it's only a couple of words. You've seen it, you've used it, it's important to you. Now you know how to say, you might say, my mom, and this is my mom too. She come to Colombia and she be like, all I know I left, and I said, I know where to ask where the bathroom is. And I'm like, you are 60 plus years old and you didn't even have that before you left. And you would be surprised that some people will travel to these places and not even know that. So coming into, will I be lonely? And it's like, yes, you're going to be lonely in a place where you don't speak the language, or you can't speak the language, and you're only going to be able to have certain experiences around other Americans. No, I am not in Thailand. I am in Mexico right now, but I'm based out of Medellin, Colombia. Hold on, let me check the chats because I see a bunch of people in here. Was it Morocco? No, 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 no. The neighbor brief is in the red zone. Yeah, no, it wasn't Morocco. Sorry, I'm just taking some chats, making sure we don't have any questions. But yeah, I'm gonna need you guys to get your heads wrapped around that, because this community thing is not. It is about who's all there when you get there. Because I know black folks want to know who's all gonna be there when I get there. But who are you? Who are you, or who are you willing to be? That's why I tell you to get that journal. Remember, beginning of the conversation, I said get an empty book, an empty journal. I tell you about writing your whys. Why am I leaving the United States? Talk about what you're looking for is, what am I looking for where it is that I go, because that can help you narrow down. Oh, I'm leaving this and I'm looking for this. Well, why would I go anywhere where this is there and then this isn't there? Don't, never mind what you see on the internet. Somebody asked me Thailand. Thailand may not be the place for you. Oh, I like, some people are like, oh, I want to go to Bali. My brother, you'll smoke a lot of trees in a place that you can't do this. Oh, I'm going to go to Dubai. Well, you're going to change it. You're going to have to change your lifestyle, bro. Like, I hear these things and I'm like, I asked you three questions and now all of a sudden you have a whole change of mind. But 5 minutes ago, you told me you almost booked a flight last week. That's what I'm like. These conversations are going to be life saving to people. People are going around and doing things in countries where it's like, you saw what happened to Brittany Griner. It don't work that way. And she was a person that people knew. If people don't know you, never mind the cost of it. Never mind, you might just not be able to get out. What do you do? So we talked about the other day, locked up abroad. Yes, you could be locked up abroad by doing things that you can get away with in the United States. Yelling, not every community is going to accept that. Oh, I got a temper issue. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Angry Man or Angry Woman. Like, nobody's here for that. You're not going to be able to get away with that here. It could be very harmful to you to yell at people who you really don't know. Seriously. Man, it's harmful to yell at people in the United States that you don't know. These people are crazy as hell. Never mind in another place, in another country, and they're like, oh, okay. All right. And then what? Oh my God, something happened to me. But you were just sitting here talking as if you were somebody that you aren't. And but you do that in the United States. You're not going to bring that. One of the things that I had to navigate, which is a little weird for me, but I didn't react. It's just weird at first. Is at least in Colombia, you stand in a line and you expect some space. We went through COVID. They're like 6 feet, dog. Like, no, people will be very close to you. And I remember at first, and I was like, I know this person isn't this close to me. And I'm a tall person. And in Colombia, like, a lot of people aren't tall. So imagine somebody like around you, like by your elbow, and it's just like, you're like, wait, hold on. Is somebody up? And it's just like, this is, but you look around and they next to everybody like that. So it has nothing to do with me as an American. It's me needing to fit into what they were already doing before I even got here. So to think that you're going to be the person that you are and not a new person that has to learn or accept new cultures, a new person that has to understand the pace of life may be different. Not everything is going to be fast, fast, fast. It's going to come off rude if you just walk up to somebody and say, hey, bro, I need this, this, and this. Can you get that tomorrow? Hola. Buenos dias. ¿Cómo estás? How are you? Like, wait for you to answer and then we can break whatever it is that you need. These things are double edged. Yes, there's a community of people waiting for you, but who are you willing to be? because that community may not accept you as you are if you still not willing to understand that America put some rough edges around you. It's all right. We all had the rough edges. We all, some of us still got some of the rough edges. But the greater parts of the communities are in positions to have let some of those rough edges go. I mentioned uh, Erica, and it made me think, in Medellin, there's a walking group. They do walking every Sunday. Parents, single people, whatever. Ciclovia is a thing that they do, period. But in the Black and Medellin group, they do the walking group. And I think that's dope because it's like everybody in the United States just doesn't have the time for some of these things. Like they just don't have the time. And to see people from all different walks, demographics, everybody just coming together, and it's a family moment. It's a time to exercise. It's a time just to be outside, enjoy the sun, get some fresh air. And it's like, you're like, that sounds simple. And it's like, I know, right? Don't it sound dope? Like, don't it sound like you ain't running at 100 miles an hour? Or you ain't want to get to know nobody, and you don't want to come and move abroad and, be open to these things, or saying, I don't like nature. Okay, bro. Stay in the United States. I tell people more often you should stay in the United States. It should be a test to get out of the United States, and not like some citizen stuff like that. Like you need to go through the workshop of knowing why you're leaving. And I'm saying moving abroad because the intention of it allows you to navigate a lot more successfully than just booking. Booking is just a trip. You're going as a tourist. Being a tourist, fine. Cameras, all that stuff. You still get lined, but sure, go. But also, the people are even coming as tourists, um, and not realizing that they're being detrimental to the community that they're saying I want to be a part of. Not realizing that when you say I want to travel somewhere, you're saying I want to go somewhere, and a community that's there accept me to buy the local merchandise, shop at them local, like arm to arm with them. Like like you're coming here there as a tourist, like you will want to be able to go and enjoy yourself, and not to be like, oh, you're a tourist, get out of here, right? But so many of y'all are taking this energy of the colonizers and doing these things, and then saying, well, I can't believe they treated me like this. I'm like, I can't. I don't want nobody coming into my neighborhood acting like outrageous, walking around, going to the worst parts of the neighborhood with a $1,500 camera. Like we're here live in impoverished neighborhood. Impoverished person, what do you feel about being impoverished? Like, are people saying these words exactly? No, but that content exists. You know that people are putting people on in cameras, and people are like, no, 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 get the camera out of my face. I'm like, wait, hold on, like this is the world that we're living in, and you don't understand that your opportunity is such a great opportunity for you if you take the intention and say, how do I find a community, how do I get connected? If you take the intention and putting a plan together and say, let me do this before I get there. Maybe you don't have to be as intentful as going and meeting somebody beforehand. That's not for everybody. I did it for a reason, and it obviously worked out. That's my bro. Like, but you have to also realize that you guys need to be real intentful, whatever way that looks like. I'm giving you some things that you can do, but go even deeper with the intent. Go even deeper with the understanding. You're a woman. Let's get into the women's groups that's in there. If you can get to the WhatsApp groups on the Facebook, follow people. Some people are open when you DM them. These actual people that are creating content and say, hey, I'm coming here. They might say, oh, here's a chat, here's a WhatsApp group. Or get into the groups and ask, is there a WhatsApp group for things that are going on normally? Some people say, yeah, here it is. I'll message you. Or they'll say, nothing. That lets you know that what kind of community that is. All of them are going to be different. You don't have to commit to any of them. You just have to figure out which one is going to be the best for you. That way you aren't leaving with any resources. One of the things that Kelly said, and Kelly's one of the parents who moved down with our relocation tours, she moved from St. Louis to Medellin in 90 days. And a lot of people say, damn, she was out. And that it was fast. But the way she was able to do that, and I remember meeting her at first, and she was like, think her I think her boyfriend was looking at like Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Something, he was looking somewhere in Mexico. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, what research did he do? And she's like, none, not really. And I was like, okay, cool. And like, what made you pick Medellin? And she's like, well, I keep hearing about it. I'm hearing people are living out here. And I'm like, well, you want to get everything you need. By the time you go ready to go home, you'll at least know what this is like. And long story short, she ended up moving her family, her two kids, boyfriend. They live in Medellin now. And she was like, one of the things we were talking about, she said, what made it easy was I got connected community down here. I knew that there was stuff for my kids to do. I knew there were going to be kids for them to play with. I knew that there were other parents that were going to be here. I knew if I didn't have my kids and they were at the nannies, that I could hang out with cool people that were similar to me, or they were at least initially cool. At least I know where to start. So many of you guys are literally moving abroad, never been to the place, you never been in a WhatsApp group, a Facebook group. The only resource you got is a flimsy ass paper with what ChatGPT gave you. This ain't gonna work. And if you think it works and you see somebody that said, all I did was ChatGPT and it worked, go play the lotto tomorrow. And every day after that. Because you might as well, you seem to think that, shooting stars exist and you're going to be the next lucky lottery winner, then you might as well. But if you actually want to have a game plan and you actually want to relocate and you want to stay abroad, if it's really on your heart, you really want to see what the hype is about, you really want to move abroad and not get scammed, not lose all your money, not lose all your hope, and go back to a place that right now you're saying, I no longer want to be there, you need to listen up. You need to pay attention. You need to go get that book that I told you, that empty notebook. You need to go get a nice pen and get you something to write with. You start understanding that these are things that people won't ask you. And I will never hear the answer from it. But I want you to have this as a resource so that when you go and you're figuring this out, you have the reference points. You have these things. Because you guys are looking at also some things that are a little bit nerve wracking too. I dumped into a little bit, but let's talk about it because money, you still need money. So many people are asking me in the United States, we talked about their weapons, what do I do to make money abroad? I don't know what you're going to do. You know what you are going to do. And you say, no, I don't. I don't have a money job that makes, what I need to make abroad. Well, where are you going? How much money do you make now? Can you do that job abroad with your current job? Because you guys are asking me what jobs can you get in Colombia and what jobs can you get in Mexico, and I was like, reasonably, you would actually get no job in these places. You would take the ability to earn U.S. dollars, which if you don't seem to realize, which I understand why, U.S. dollars are one of the strongest global currencies in the world. So when they say that poorest American is still one of the richest people in the world, that's what they mean. So $25,000 a year is 200% and a little bit more of what you need to be able to qualify for the digital nomad visa in Colombia. Now, in the United States, $25,000 may be very tough, especially in a big city. Now, I'm not saying you need to go and take a job that only allows you to get that. But oftentimes, chasing the number that what we need in the United States, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $100,000, you don't need that to not only just cover bare expenses, but you could probably live a life that was better than what you may make less by taking a new job or getting into a new career than by staying in the United States and having more money in the career that you have. You'd be surprised how many people that have legit professional jobs and are like, well, I can't do my professional job. I'm an optometrist, so I'm looking at another career. Now that let me know it was real out here because somebody that is a legit optometrist, 6-figure job, and they're like, nah, this isn't it. I'm not doing it anymore. I'll go, rent kayaks for a living before I do this. So many people are out of jobs or out of work with the furlough, or furloughed in the government. That that's impacting the planes. That's why all the planes is down. That's why I said maybe the next time y'all go to move abroad, it's gonna be on a boat. Gonna get a cruise, a one-way cruise out of the United States because they shut the government down. Not enough air traffic controllers I always say on the other side of TSA, shout out to all the TSA workers because I know they are not getting paid right now, and a lot of them are still going to work. This is the reality. I've seen literally in 5 different chats, including my personal chat, my own sister say, "What times are we living in?" I don't know. It might be time to do something different. It might be time to take a look at this because you guys are asking, well, how can I get on the other side and start making money over there? You might not need to make 40, $80,000. You might be able to make $50,000 and have the same or a better lifestyle. You might oftentimes need to go back and look into what do I do. I saw a girl I had went to school with. She was one of the people impacted by the government. And she was like, hey, this is what I do, like from a foundational level. I'm for the government, so I'm open for this as well. But one of the things that made me stick out was she was like, also I think it was like transcribe music and do something else, and I was like, so she's like, yo, I'll work, as long as it's in my skill set. I'm willing to do something that isn't in the professional realms or isn't something that I was historically doing, and I thought that was very unique because I'm like, this may be what it goes back to when we talk about community and we talk about before all the technology and things of that nature. It was like people would bring their skills. Oh, you can grow food. You can tend the land. You're the medicine person. Like, now we're not getting rudimental and going back all the way that far. But how many people in expat communities are the local event person, so they put all the parties together, or they put all the events, whether they're parties or get-togethers or karaoke or game nights. People come down. Michelle is the local loctician for the group, so anybody that comes down need their locks done. She's down there. She's also like in the crafts. So what she does is do different workshops throughout the month for people that are in Medellin. I think she's got like a I think she's got like a how to crochet, like a cozy, like a so she does bags. Like, it might be time for people to get back to these things. I know you've been fighting it, and you've been chasing $100,000 here and there, but I'm like, one, what I will tell you is entrepreneurship. And if you are not looking to do entrepreneurship, at least get into a remote job or a remote field, and don't really worry too much about trying to compare the wages to what you would need in the place that you are. Now, I will tell you, if you go to Mexico, it's like 18 to 20 to 1. You go to South Africa, it's like 17 to 20 to 1. You go to Panama, it's like 1 to 1. That's nuanced too, because you got to get down to, even though it's a dollar to the dollar, what do things actually cost? If I can get a $1,300 a month, $1,400 a month 2-bedroom apartment with a water view, you can't buy that or rent that in the United States. You go to Colombia, it might be 3,800 to 4,000 to 1. Depends on where you go. Your U.S. dollar will go further. So don't give that up. Don't give it up. Now, I will touch on this briefly because this isn't a finance thing, but a lot of you think when you talk about your passport and you're like, oh, well, I'm moving abroad. Do I have to renounce my citizenship? And I said, listen, if you thought it was that easy to quit death row, you are out of your mind. No, you can't. You're not just renouncing your passport because you left the United States. They're gonna follow you wherever you go. They are big brother and big sister and uncle, everybody. Like, that doesn't happen. You're not relinquishing your citizenship in America, and so many people are in a position where they're like, oh, I need to go get my residency in some place that I don't even know 3 neighborhoods in. And I'm like, you guys need to know how to navigate with the U.S. passport. I know it doesn't do anything besides something that you take a picture on the gram or you say, oh, I got a passport stamp. But you guys need to know how to utilize it and utilizing it as a weapon when you go to move abroad. Because right now, and unfortunately, and it's flat out the truth, the U.S. passport has now fallen out of the top 10 worldwide passports. And the reason why is because many countries, which I don't blame them, believe in reciprocity. And if you don't know what reciprocity means, is if you spit in my house, I'm going to spit right back at your house. And the United States government, as well as the current administration, is pissing a lot of people off. So people are changing whether or not you can come into their country with no money or required specific visa with a bunch of paperwork. people say, "Oh, I get a passport stamp," and not realizing that that passport stamp is visa-free access, and all you have to do is have a valid passport. I get it. They might not have taught you that in school, but that's why we're here. Give you what you did not receive and give you something so you can actually receive what you actually need. But losing that passport is going to be one of your ways to say, okay, where of all the visa-free places that give me 90 days consecutively, 180 days in a year, where can I go? That's going to start narrowing, helping you narrow down. I mean, 180 is a big ass number, but when you get to your whys and what I'm looking for, now we're getting a little bit more closer. But I will tell you guys, I got some people that will call me and be asking about why is it difficult to navigate as a Black American in a place that's Eurocentric. And I always tell them, I don't know. I don't really hang out in those places. I don't really have a big desire. Like, if I make it there, cool. But if not, it's not my concern. And I don't live in places and haven't lived in places where it wasn't Afrocentric or brown people around. It hasn't been on my radar as of yet. But if that is on your what you're looking for, I would say do not waver on that because it's not going to be there, especially coming from America, especially for Black Americans. It's just not going to be there. If you really need to see that, you really need to be around Black people. Make sure you are intent about where you're going, and as well as the community that's there. But you got to be intent with that because I can't help you if you say I'm in Poland and things are a little weird for a Black American. I'm like, sounds like it might be, might not be. I don't know. I haven't been. It's not on my radar. But you guys are looking for answers, so I'm trying to give them to you. Keep that in mind. Now, one thing I will tell you is we were talking to Corey, and when it comes to finances, definitely have a USD job. A lot of people are moving and saying, "Man, I want to lower my basic cost of living," and I'm like, "Great," but that's double edged, right? Because people are like, "Well, how much is an apartment in Colombia?" And I'm like, "Well, what kind of apartment do you want?" Because Americans have been told that places are third world countries and not realizing that that's true and not true. Like, no, nowhere is a third world country, so it's not true. And it's true in the sense of like America has made you think that these places are really in a bad shape and they really need our help. And these people are really having a good time and living their best life by themselves. So when you guys thinking about like, oh, the apartment should be $300 because I was told that this is a third world country, and it's like, no, the apartment's not $300, bro. I mean, is there an apartment for $300 in Medellin? Yeah. Do you want to stay there? No. Don't tell me that you want to stay there, but you guys are getting sold on certain things. So when it comes to finances, it's like you can pay whatever it is that you weigh because people come over and be like, yo, they got Ferraris here and Porsches. Oh, so you just thought everybody was poor, huh? You just watch CNN, huh? Okay, that's cool. But that's not the truth. And you're going to find out real hard that that is not the truth. What you have been told wasn't accurate. So we got to get into a scenario to understand that just because somebody told you that was a third world country does not mean that the price that you think in your head or what somebody else told you on an Instagram was accurate because it could not be. It could be for likes. It could be for monetization. They don't care if they lied to you. They just care if the check cleared. Seriously. So keep that in mind because one of the things people hear when moving abroad is like gringo pricing. And gringo pricing does exist. But a lot of gringo pricing comes down to the person. I will tell you this why. Now, I'm not fluent in Spanish by any means, but even speaking a little will shift the price so greatly in your favor, you will be like, what? This, it almost will snap your neck. Por ejemplo, I'll give you an example. I was in Colombia and we were in Cholon. And I had a group with me. We were in the water. We were sitting there waiting for the food to come. And this old lady came over. And this is, Cholon, the old ladies come and they're like, oh, you want a massage? No, they're cool. They give a massage. But I was like, nah, I'm good. But then the lady, she hit something that I didn't even know. And I was like, oh, snap. So I'm like, well, how much? But I was talking to somebody else. So I was talking to her like in Spanish, but like real, like kind of passively. Not even Spanish. It was in English. I was like, how much? Like, and she said something 200,000-300,000 pesos. I was like, And then I wrote out my Spanish that I did have and said, no, man, I live in Medellin. You know, these are my people. We're here. You know, I bring guests over here all the time in Spanish. And the price went from like 300,000 pesos to like, I don't know, 50,000 pesos, something like that. You know? And I'm like, that is 6 times more than what it is. So gringo pricing often comes down to, do I know a little Spanish? Do I know that I can negotiate? Financial planning also comes down to ability to understand that you're going to a place that you may be able to negotiate. Some things are negotiable and some things aren't. You need to learn and navigate which ones are. That is going to be nuanced down to where you go. How to navigate. What works in Medellin, Colombia, may not work in Cartagena, may not work in Cali. These things are nuanced. Do you see how important it is to get tapped in with somebody that knows? I talked to you. I talked to my community. I said, we know what the hookup is. Y'all know and y'all look for the hookup. You are going to need the hookup when you go abroad. Like, it's no easier way to tell you that. That is the key to success. That is the key to thrive. A hookup. More things are based off of relationships abroad than anything. The contract and the paper that is written on may not be worth a hill of beans, or it may be the most long, drawn out contract ever. Whereas your face, your word, damn near things where you get back to humanity. Never mind, let's put it in the box. People are working off of that. You have to be who you say you are. That's why I ask so many people, are you ready to move abroad? Not that you just want to leave, not that you found a place and you bought a ticket and you found your city. No. Are you ready to be a part of a community? Are you ready to understand from a financial perspective that just because you spend $5,000 a month in the United States and then you can go down to $2,000 a month, don't mean that you aren't going to start blowing $3,000 a month on BS if you aren't the person that you really are. I say it will kind of expose you because so many people have never been in a situation where the little bit of money that they had meant any hill of beans. So many people want to be the people in the club throwing money. So many people want to be the people that are, when they see people that don't have, they're turning their nose. Might say, no, I don't want to do that, but I'm seeing people now with their money to go further become said people on the other side of the TSA, and so many of us and so many local people are like, they could have stayed home. And they're getting the people, and they're the ones that are not having the success stories moving abroad and traveling. And that is why I'm saying, if I can reach you before you leave, before you even get in the Uber and call it, get down to the TSA and go through the check line and get you some knowledge and some information that you can use, hopefully you will have a better time than these people that aren't doing that. Hopefully, you won't ruin your career by moving abroad with somebody else's equipment and you don't have a solid VPN. Hopefully, you don't ruin your relationship with your kids because you moved them and you didn't know what you were doing, and now they're in the middle of nowhere with no Wi-Fi, no friends, and they're like, what did Jaden Smith say when he was in Karate Kid? I hate it here. You don't want that from a little kid in another country. He can't speak the language. Taraji should have called a relocation specialist, or at least tuned in to Black Expat Life Abroad. She could have figured out something. Seriously, I don't want y'all to be these people, man. I don't want y'all to be the person that is on the thing saying, I'm stuck abroad and I don't know what to do. So I need y'all to continue to keep coming back here. I need y'all to keep sharing these lives. I need y'all to keep jumping into these comments, asking these questions that y'all have, because the only way that you're gonna get real answers is asking the questions. And then when I ask you a question, make certain that you're ready to answer it. I mean, it's the reason that I'm asking you these questions. I don't ask these questions just to keep, fluff and talk going. I ask these because these are the real questions that you're not getting on any other platform. And it's all about you and what you are willing to do or not do. And I will gladly tell you to stay home. Stay home if you aren't ready to change. Stay home if you're not ready for a transformation. Do not bring America with you. None of us want it. Everybody's giving it up, and it's like, we good. All that stuff that y'all normalize and everything else, we are good. Know that also when it comes to navigating your finances, that you need to navigate that and look differently at it. Yes, you can lower your finances, but if your mindset is, well, now I'm gonna just spend what money that I was going to make on clubbing and eating out and dates and whatever you want to do, did you change your quality of life? Yeah, you can have a better quality of life and still and make $40,000 less a year. How? Because it's not about the money. It's about who you are on this world, what you can bring, what is valuable to you. I know you haven't had a long time to think about it, but a lot of this move abroad comes with the peace and the space to do so. So it has been a little bit over an hour. I appreciate it, man. I want to make sure you guys are getting this conference, getting this information ahead of the conference, getting all of these other resources and tools that you need. As I mentioned, the conference will be November 22nd. You have just seen the fourth day of the 12 days of relocation. These are designed to do what it is that most people won't. Talk to you like a person that knows you. Talk to you and say, hey, I'm charging you with something that you need to do because you logged onto this platform, not the other way around. You said, I need to find out how to move abroad, and who's going to tell me? Who's going to challenge me enough or give me what it is that I need? I'm giving you what you need. However, it's only yours to use. If you don't utilize the resources, if you don't utilize the conversation, if you don't go and get that empty notebook and start writing these things down, what am I leaving? What am I looking for? Then this conversation has fallen on deaf ears. But there's so many people that are hearing this conversation. That's why I said, let's put this virtual conference together. Let's make it a little bit bigger, a little bit better than we did the last time. So last time we just had everything you need to move to Colombia. We'll continue to do those. But this time, November 22nd, you guys have the ability to get everything you need to Colombia, which includes Medellin, Santa Marta, as well as Cali. You guys will also get Mexico, including Playa del Carmen. You also get Panama City, Panama, as well as Cape Town, South Africa. But as I mentioned, just giving you destination experts is easy. Anybody can say, here you go. Let me put them in your hands. But there's so many other things. And obviously, you can see on these 12 days of relocation, we are going to get into them. But there's a number of things that you might have forgot running out of the burning house that is America, and we got you. So we are going to bring on a number of different topics outside of our destination experts. We're obviously going to cover visas, so we're going to bring on an immigration lawyer. We will be covering healthcare with our healthcare expert. What does healthcare abroad look like for you versus what you get in the United States? How much it costs? What all of these things looks like? You'd be surprised. You don't might have to go to the doctor anymore because he'll come to you for way less than what it is you're paying on a monthly basis. We'll get into that. We will also get into parenting abroad. So many people are looking to move abroad, abroad with their children. You guys need to make sure you are checking out movetravelabroad.com because we already had somebody jump into our messages looking to come. They're looking to tour schools, see what the options are, talk to parents. These things and more are available at the conference because we know that you need them. We also will bring in Dr. Erica Wilkins. She's going to be talking to all my expats about what you do when you get abroad and you may feel a little homesick, navigating how to get involved with the community. You might come 40% ready to be a part of the community. Let's get you at least to the other 60%. That way you can actually start thriving and living and joining in some of the fun things that we are here putting together for you guys. We will also have the importance of volunteering because so many people are looking to move abroad, go to a new community, and not realize that you are saying, can you let me in? You guys need to be able to be a part of their community. So we bring on our expert on volunteerism abroad and the importance of that. We will also have some big topics. One, y'all asked me how to make money online. We'll bring on Bianca Lynch. She will be talking about making digital marketing and online marketing, how to make money online through digital products, affiliate marketing. You guys are literally giving up the bag just by doing the stuff that you are normally doing and not actually being paid for it. So she's going to get into that. We will bring on a student loan doctor, how so many people are moving abroad to pay off their student loans. And we're bringing on our financial expert who will teach you how to build wealth abroad. Somebody asked me, well, how do you build wealth abroad? Well, remember I said you had $5,000 a month being spent? You take that down to $2,000 a month and you don't spend $3,000 a month on bullshit, and then that $3,000 a month, now you can put that into vehicles and things that will allow you to have a nest egg or cushion for early retirement, or allow you to retire with your pension, because it goes a lot further than the other places that you may be living in the United States. This and more will be available to you November 22nd. Each day of the 12 days of relocation, including today, if you guys go to movetravelabroad.com, you purchase any GA ticket. So our early bird tickets are on sale. You purchase a GA ticket, you will be entered to get a VIP ticket complimentary upgrade. We are choosing 10 people per day. So if you don't happen to get your ticket today, or you aren't happen to be the one of the 10 people, that is okay. But you do need to get your ticket before the 14th, because prices do rise after that, ahead of the November 22nd conference. That will be available to you and more. We have so many things after that. We got to get through the conference. The relocation tour is coming up in February for everybody that is looking. As we get a little bit closer, we'll start releasing some details, but it is available for you to view. We also can go on movetravelabroad.com and get connected to the free resources that we have. They are free. All you need to do is just sign up for our newsletter. And what that does, it unlocks discounts that we do not advertise on our website or any of our Instagram platforms or anything. Have to be in the newsletter to get access to the discounts in the first of the information. So I hope you guys really got some good stuff that you can use. Yes, you might need to go sign up on Facebook if if you are serious about moving abroad. If not, no harm, no foul. But if you're ready to follow the blueprint to how to take your life from in the United States onto the other side of TSA, then you need to adhere to what it is that I'm telling you guys. I appreciate you guys as always. Tomorrow is Friday. Make sure y'all doing what it is that y'all need to do for yourself so that you can have them positive mind, body, and soul to be able to take on this relocation journey and really change your life, man. I appreciate you guys as always. Moodtravelabroad.com is where you can purchase your tickets for the November 22nd relocation conference. There, if you guys need to message me, get in contact with me, ask a question, you want to see something covered, I'm here. My job is to give you guys what it is that so many of us didn't have when looking to move abroad. All you have to do is just tune in and continue to take on the resources. Get that journal ready. I want y'all to be good. I want y'all to be cool. And I want y'all to change your lives with this opportunity. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all let me know if y'all need anything. It's been good.